So which Nvidia RTX 3000 GPU is the most popular and people are buying the most? Contrary to popular belief, it's probably not a baller RTX 3090. Hey guys, Thiago with Classical Technology here. Remember to subscribe and smash that like button. So let's talk about Nvidia's RTX 3000 series. People go Google-eyed over these GPUs. They're extremely popular. Perhaps in the entire history of PC gaming, we've never seen a selection of GPUs be so coveted over. People really want to get their hands on these GPUs. As you can see, some people will line up for literally days just to have a chance to purchase one of these at MSRP. And some people will even pay the very high scalper pricing in order to get their hands on one of these RTX 3000 series GPU. Now, which GPUs have been the most popular amongst pretty much everybody that's been buying them? You may think that it's going to be the RTX 3090. After all, that is basically sort of the flagship. It's a weird hybrid GPU where it appeals to not only gamers but also content creators. This is going to be due in part to its 24 gigabytes of VRAM. So there really is no doubt that the RTX 3090 is an absolute bruiser of a GPU. Very, very awesome. Lots of VRAM, lots of great performance. But if we can be candid, purely if you're a gamer, it's an absolutely terrible choice, not only at the extreme prices that we're seeing these GPUs at now. So let's start at the high end, and we're going to work our way down, and eventually we'll find the GPU that's been the most popular. At the high end, if it's not the RTX 3090, its nearest counterpart basically is the RTX 3080 Ti. Have people been favoring this GPU over the 3090? Well, I think so. Absolutely yes. If you're just a gamer, basically strictly gaming, the 3080 Ti is going to be a tremendous value for your dollar compared to the RTX 3090. I don't think it's the best value by any means in terms of its own price, especially with its really inflated pricing. I mean, we went from a $1,200 MSRP to most models being $1,800 or thereabouts, so definitely not a great price. But you compare that to the 3090, which often went from $1,499 to well over $2,000. You're saving anywhere from maybe $300 to $500. And the performance of an RTX 3080 Ti in terms of gaming is pretty much similar or the same as an RTX 3090. So in this case, people will surely choose, in terms of price and performance, the 3080 Ti. Now, if you're a content creator or you actually want to use a GPU for other things like crypto mining or whatever it may be, then the 3090 may perhaps be a smarter choice. After all, the 3080 Ti is light hash rate, so you're not really going to get the best performance out of it unless you do all of the workarounds, which still won't be as powerful as an RTX 3090. So in the high end, definitely the 3080 Ti, I would say, would beat out the RTX 3090. And of course, I think it also beats out the AMD 6900 XT and the 6800 XT. Those have definitely crept up in price as well. While they perform really, really great, I think the Nvidia-centric GPUs people really still prefer, because you're going to have things like G-Sync and you're going to have things like ray tracing, DLSS. So there's certainly going to be very, very good options for people that want those type of things. And of course, AMD doesn't seem to have manufactured nearly the same amount of GPUs as Nvidia if we go by something like the Steam survey and things like that. So going down the list, the RTX 3080. This almost is the most popular GPU. I mean, everybody would love to have it at $699 for its tremendous performance. And in my opinion, if we're comparing sort of original base MSRPs, I would prefer to get an RTX 3080 over a 3080 Ti, because the performance of a 3080 Ti really isn't all that much more to justify the price difference between it and an RTX 3080. Of course, it is packing 12 gigabytes of VRAM on the 3080 Ti versus a more paltry 10 gigabytes of VRAM, but unless you have a specific game that's definitely going to use that VRAM, I would say that 10 gigabytes is more than sufficient for 4K gaming, but future proofing is going to be an issue as games start to eat up more of that VRAM. And of course, all of these have the very fast GDDR6X VRAM, but if we start to compare them versus the GPUs that we spoke about before, 3080 definitely going to be the sweet spot. I would say it's almost the best and most popular GPU that we've seen lately. So you can say for price to performance on the original MSRP, it certainly is, but certainly as we go down the line, you'll see that some have been more popular, primarily due to their lower price point. Now, as we start to get into the 3070 Ti and the 3070, these are two other fantastic GPUs. Now, the 3070 Ti, of course, they're all going to be light hash rate, so therefore you may be able to find them a little easier than you could in the original 3070 that's non-light hash rate, and the performance is certainly getting pretty close to an RTX 3080, and of course the price is certainly going to be cheaper. Now, I would still prefer the RTX 3080 just because that's going to have more VRAM. It's certainly going to be a little bit better performing, and at sort of these inflated prices in the secondhand market, oftentimes you can find one for not too far off with 3070 Ti, but I still think a sweet spot is going to be the original 3070. That really performs very, very well. Remember when it was initially released, $499 for a 2080 Ti level performance? People were really shocked and stoked at that type of performance. Of course, it went up to its peak in May of almost $1,400 to $1,500, which is definitely pretty crazy. Now it's down closer to $1,000 or so on the secondhand market, but of course that varies week by week. And the 3070, as this video sort of the entire purpose is which is the most popular, the RTX 3070 pretty much is the most popular GPU of the last several months. It seems to have been the one that Nvidia probably made the most of and sold the most of, because it's going to hit that sweet spot of not only high-end performance, but it's also going to be priced much better than something like a 3080 Ti or 3090, which already start very, very high. Now, don't get me wrong, the RTX 3070 is still priced very high considering all of the market conditions. The original MSRP, we can't really go by that. You know, $499 is great, but you're not going to be able to find that unless you get lucky with like a Best Buy drop or something like that. But it's a much lower starting point than like a $1,500 3090, which quickly turns into over $2,000, and at least that 500 sort of doubles into 1,000 or something like that, which is still more than half the price of a $2,000 RTX 3090, and it certainly has enough performance even at 4K to keep most gamers happy. This certainly is going to be probably the most popular GPU. Very close on its heels is the 3060 Ti. Some could argue at $399 or $100 less, and who knows what that is in the secondhand market. Generally, these are well over $800 to around the $900 range. 3060 Ti is basically a little bit of a watered down RTX 3070, and once again, this is going to be one of the most popular GPUs. Now, you can tell that anytime there's a big drop like at Best Buy or even a local micro center, the GPUs that sell the fastest are going to be the 3060 Ti, 3070, 3060. The 3090s and some of the AMD GPUs are typically going to be the last ones to go. Let's say if you're at the end of the line, most likely you're going to get yourself an RTX 3090. Of course, that's due to the very high starting price. Nobody's saying that they don't perform well. It's just that the performance for the dollar is really, really stretched at that price point when you get something like a 3060 Ti, which actually performs very, very well for most games that people are playing, both at 1080p and 1440p. It can even do some light 4K gaming. But of course, for 4K gaming, it definitely would steer you in the direction of at least a 3070 Ti, 3070, but preferably a 3080. Now, the 3060 is also a very popular GPU, and once again, it's going to come down to its entry price, much cheaper than the other GPUs. Now, for gaming, if that's your primary purpose, the 3060 Ti is a vastly superior GPU. Don't be tricked by the 8 gigabytes of VRAM compared to 12 on the 3060. That really doesn't matter at this level of GPU. That's not like you're going to be playing 4K with these GPUs and you're really going to be saturating that VRAM. The 3060 Ti is more like a 3070, and the 3060 is a different class of GPU, definitely lower performance across the board in traditional rasterization and ray tracing. So I would definitely get the 3060 Ti, and many people have. So the 3060, 3060 Ti, and 3070, these three GPUs represent the most popular NVIDIA GPUs, and in many cases, like the 3060 Ti and the 3070, they're probably the best bang for your buck. Now, the 3080 at $699 is a great bang for your buck as well, but as we've seen, that price inflated perhaps more than some of the other GPUs due to that performance and that initial price. Definitely a little bit harder to find and to recommend, but certainly 3060 Ti and 3070, I would say those are neck and neck for some of the most popular GPUs that more people have been able to get a hold of course, and depending on which one you actually find in stock, that's going to be your option basically. Like if you have a choice between a 3070 and nothing, better to take a 3070. If you have a choice between a 3060 Ti and a 3070, depending on the model and if the price difference is fairly substantial, you can definitely save some money with a 3060 Ti and get a lot of great performance. But if it's pretty close in price, I would edge you towards the 3070, as I think that's going to be definitely a pretty good choice. All right, guys, so I just wanted to break down some of the more popular RTX GPUs. This is based on sort of seeing like the Steam surveys and seeing what people buy when they go to one of these drops. Definitely the lower barrier to entry GPUs that are cheaper, like the 3060 Ti, will sell a lot more and a lot faster than the 3090s that are very, very expensive, albeit they have fantastic performance. They're not really that great for gaming. You're better off with a 3080 Ti if you want to go that level, or something like we mentioned between a 3060 Ti and a 3080, depending on your budget and depending on what you find. All right, guys, so remember to subscribe, smash that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.